And it's just like Twitter for Instagram.
I hope that he poops every time he comes here.
If I didn't, you guys would smell a lot more than you already smell.
If
Drew, are you excited that I pooped when I got here so you don't smell my butt right now? Or do you wish you smelled my butt?
What the fuck?
It's either you're excited to smell my butt or
I am not a smells kind of guy.
So you're excited not to smell my butt. So you're excited that I pooped.
Yes.
Sure.
That's what.
If those are my Sophie's choices.
Why does your
then yes.
butt smell if you haven't pooped?
Because I fart. If you don't poop, you fart.
Shower?
Of course I do. I showered this morning.
Hygiene. Okay.
Yeah, but it's still, if you, I haven't pooped all day. I was at the office. I'm not gonna poop in an office like some kind of crazy person.
I would poop in an office.
It's because you work in a girls only office. Oh, let's hit the button.
No, there was times when I worked at the barber shop and there was only one bathroom in the barber shop and like everyone knew what was happening. It would be like, it's like a new walk of shame coming out of the bathroom in the barber shop.
The worst is when you have to pretend like you don't hear somebody shitting.
I have a friend who works one time. Sorry. It's been so long.
It's been a while. I think it's been like 9 months since you've been here.
Has it? I feel like it was right after Friday.
Welcome to.
It was a little bit after, but I don't.
Yeah,
Maybe because
I don't know. I'm old. I have no sense of time anymore.
Yeah. Welcome, lovers and friends. It's me, your boy, Miss Everybody, and I'm joined today by my co-host.
Mar.
And we welcome back to the show Philly's Queen of Comedy and the 2019 Philly Drag Queen of the Year, Bev or Drew. How you doing?
Hi, it's me.
Bev
I feel like Norma Desmond returning to Paramount Studios. If you get that reference, congratulations, you're gay. Congratulations, you're gay.
I don't get it, so I'm not gay, everybody.
That's a Sunset Boulevard reference because I'm what? Old and gay. All right.
Old
Cheers.
and gay.
Cheers.
So what do you remember from your first time here?
I remember that we waited 30 minutes for Maura to put eyelashes on.
Happens every
I
time.
came
And she-
eyelashless
She
today.
came in, she's like, I don't have any lash glue and I don't have any lip gloss. I was like, I could probably say that I'm like one of your few guests that you could have let me know to bring that and I would have brought it for you. Because I have both at the regular. I remember that you all tried to stump me with like drag queen trivia, which I was like, really, boys? Really? I don't think I've ever fucking seen Tootsie before. And I remember that you kept trying to make me take shots of like some shitty, disgusting whiskey, and I was like, I don't know what they have, so I brought my own purse full of seltzer.
Alcohol. Period.
It's smart. It's smart.
Because a lady is always prepared at night. Yes.
So did you have any reactions from your like followers, friends, or families from?
I read. They always like, don't read the comments. I read the comments. I think most people found it funny. I like the ones because you used for one of the clips. You used us talking about like what tucking is.
Yes.
And like a lot of your like fan base was like, that's disgusting. Stop talking about dicks. I'm like, yes, I'm sure I'm the only person in this room that's ever recorded a podcast with you where all we did was talk about dicks.
And tuck their dick. We've all tucked our dick.
Talking about dicks never happens in this room. That's fine.
No dicks, no buttholes.
Sorry, I brought things down so much. Sorry about that. It's classy establishment.
I don't do comments either.
Yeah, well,
She did for a while on TikTok.
I did one time, and I answered literally every single comment. I'm talking probably 1,200 comments.
This is before we were like banned on TikTok, and there was like constant.
And people were like, why is she answering every... It was like about me being single and how I'm going to be like by myself for my whole life. And it was like, why is she answering every fucking comment? I was like, I ain't got no man. I got plenty of
I
time.
have all the fucking time in the world, assholes. Yeah.
Speaking of single, are you still single?
I am not single. I have a man friend that I've been seeing since we met in late September, and then we went official in February.
Who asked too?
I mean to go like to date it was kind of mutual, but like to be official, I asked him on Valentine's Day.
How
We're
gay!
Gays, I know. I didn't want to do it, but I was just
love
like,
that.
It was like the most cliche. Like I used to wait tables. I was like, people would get like engaged at the Cheesecake Factory on Valentine's Day, and I was like, I put a bullet in my head if I was ever one of those people. And then I fucking asked him to be my boyfriend at Park on Valentine's Day.
Okay, bougie though.
I know.
I mean, like high class.
I was just like, great, I'm one of those faggots. It's fine. And I'm allowed to say that word. I've reclaimed that word. So
Yeah, so the last time you were here, you said it in 3 minutes or less.
Well, he did it again. Not about that.
So who pays for dinner between the two of you?
We like go back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's pretty. It's like it's not like one sided. Like if I get tickets to something, he'll get dinner, and vice versa, that kind of thing.
Is he older or younger?
He's 2 years younger than me.
Okay. Because I remember last time you said you can go 10 years either way.
Yeah. No, he's we're very similar in terms of age and experience and all that kind of thing. So
Dating as an older gay is going good?
yes, it's going well. Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Have you, since you've been here last, I know you're in a relationship now, but have you been with any more straight guys?
Any more straight guys?
I think you said you were with two straight guys in your life the last time. No. And when I say straight, the quotations are going up. I put my drink down.
No. Being a professional cross-dresser and birthday clown kind of precludes you from the straight boy crowd. And the ones that are into that, I'm like, I'm not, I think I might have said this before, but like, I'm not the kind of drag queen that's like a sexy one or like one that's trying to pass or whatever. Like, if you look at me and you're like, yeah, I want to fuck that, there are some issues beyond you being straight.
Go to therapy.
Like,
it's fine.
hi, I'm dressed like a fucking inflatable wacky tube arm man. If you are trying to fuck that, there's some other issues beyond me being a drag queen that you need to work your way through. Yeah.
Also, one thing we talked about last time you were here, you talked about how gay men before sex have to douche. And then we've also talked about this
That
with
is
Nick,
true.
where with gay sex, you have to douche before.
Yes.
So it would be smarter not
If
to
you're
eat.
the bottom, if you're the top, you're lazy and you don't have to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you say, going with that, would you say that the skinnier gay guys are bottoms?
No, I don't think it has anything to do.
Justin,
That doesn't have anything to do with anything.
just because someone's fat doesn't mean that they can't receive.
You
Bottoms
can't-
come in all shapes and sizes.
But if you're douching, so we went with anal.
There's not like douche sizes.
No, but you also don't want to eat a lot before, is what I've been told by
well, yeah, but I mean, if you,
my Google searches.
it's.
Yo.
My Friday nights.
I would like to confiscate
Right.
your hard drive
Literally.
and see what fucking CIA bullshit you have on there.
Seriously.
I'm gonna scooch over closer to you. No, it has nothing to do with shape or size or anything. It's just a matter of like, if there's a window usually. If you've taken care of yourself in preparation, you've normally got a few hour window, depending if you go to dinner.
Damn,
or
I
you
didn't
do
even think
other
of that.
things, because it takes a while for like everything to get.
So I was
through
saying
you.
skinnier because
It's not going to
No,
be
but
like
not about that
it's not
part,
gonna
but,
be
like, you got
we went to
6
dinner.
dinners.
We need to fucking 15 minutes,
Yeah,
or
that's
else
what I'm saying.
here comes the jalapeno poppers.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. So you got to eat a smaller meal. You got to douche. Like there's a bunch of rules that go into what.
I mean, there is, but there's like,
I didn't
yeah,
even
it's
think of
also
that.
not hard to just like. It only takes like 10, 15 minutes to clean out, and then you're good to go.
Oh yeah, you could get home from dinner and be like, I'm just gonna 1 second take a
Like-
shower real
like-
quick.
But if you're just going out about town. Like you need to have your butthole ready, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Or you don't. Maybe people are messy.
some people don't care, and they're just like some
Justin's face.
people, especially like if you're drunk and you're like, you know what, it is what it is. Let's roll the dice. Then you
Right.
might wind up with a situation you don't want to deal with later.
That's a dangerous dice game.
It is a very dangerous dice game. But also, if you're prepared, then you're fine.
And you just like maybe have sex in the bathroom or something
yeah, or you just wait.
of your house. Then why are you looking at me like that?
We've been here for 4 minutes already talking about douching. I love it.
Oh God.
So you reached out recently because we had another guest on the show where we were talking about the Bud Light controversy. What did you think of the whole Bud Light controversy with Dylan Mulvaney?
I love Bev was like, get me on.
Here I go. No, I have lots of thoughts about the whole like corporate pride, corporations using members of the LGBTQ rainbow community to hawk their stuff, because it was very. I've been doing drag for 11 years now, so like I said, when I got here, you asked how I was doing. I was like, well, I survived Pride Month, so I'm doing good. Because if you're, I'm not gonna say every drag performer, but like if you're a drag performer who's been around a while, I mean, you'll start, and you have like contacts to things. You'll start to get companies and organizations and corporations reaching out to you because they want to prove during June that they love everybody, and especially if you're like Bud Light or you're Target or you're one of these other ones, you want that gay money, because guess what gays have? Usually not children, and a lot of money that they can just spend on fucking anything. Right. So during Pride Month, it's great to slap a rainbow on something and show that you're inclusive. The thing that took a turn this year, and like Bud Light was one of them, Target was another one, where it's like now, because of all this bullshit legislation that's out there right now talking about, oh, drag queens are grooming children, and trans people are trying to change children, and all this. It's all like protect the children. They put members of the LGBTQ community like Dylan Mulvaney out there to hawk their shit. And then we're like, oh, nope. Oh, there's a backlash. Okay, never mind. She's out there on her own. And it's like they put all this pride shit in Target, and then one guy goes on TikTok and like smashes it, and suddenly we need to remove it or hide it in the back of the store or something. And it's like, you don't get to have it both ways. Right. If you're going to be an ally and you're going to like, and it's not just the gay community. It's like someone said, like, especially with the Target thing, like, okay, what if it's going to be December in a few months? What if suddenly, well, someone's offended by Hanukkah things being out in the front of the store? Are we going to remove all the Jewish items and put them in the back? Like, it's a very slippery slope once we start kowtowing to that type of pressure. And it's like, sorry to be like Debbie Downer every year. I normally true. Try to be fun, but like, it's bullshit, because you're putting us out there to like hawk your stuff, and we do that, and that makes us a target, and then you don't fucking back us up, or you leave us out there to like face all the negativity of that, and you're like, well, we're worried about our reputation, and we're worried about our employees. Well, it's like, well, welcome to all the shit that we've been putting up with for 50, 60 years now, when the Stonewall riots were like back in the fucking 60s. So it's just shit. Like, I personally, I'm not going to say the name of the venue, but I had been doing brunches at a venue in Philadelphia for almost a year. And we were supposed to have one in June because they specifically wanted to do a Pride Month brunch. And I was like, okay. So I lined up the performers to do it, sent all the paperwork, emailed the contact that I had at this particular venue, and waited. And then I was like, didn't hear from them for almost 3 weeks. So the week before June, I followed up, and I think June 1st was on a Thursday. On Wednesday, I get an email. So none of the tickets have been sold for Sunday's brunch, and meeting with management, we're going to discontinue future drag brunches, and we're going to seek other methods to reach out to our clientele. And it's like, so you're canceling all gay events the day before Pride Month. I'm like, and I sent like an email where I was like, I get that you are a venue that does not typically cater to the gay community or the LGBTQ community, but like, it doesn't, like, it's a slap in the face that like I've been making money for you for over a year now, and you're gonna cancel all my shit. Like, I get, like, it's hard, but like, if you're gonna be that, then you need to be that, and if you're not, then fucking say that you're not. And I basically called them out as not being supportive. And then 2 days later, they make an Instagram post that they're going to sell T-shirts with their logo on it. And it was a brewery. And like beer mugs in a rainbow. And a portion of the proceeds are going to go to the William Way LGBT Center. So it's like, okay, so you're going to cancel all gay events there. But then 2 days later, hawk rainbow T-shirts that you're going to make money off of. And a portion of the proceeds are going to go to a gay center. I was like, that's some fucking nerve for y'all to, like, I don't know.
It's just weird because it's like so back and forth. It's like either if you know your intentions are good,
the optics of it, but you don't want to deal with what nowadays putting yourself out there comes with, which is all of this shit that MAGA Republicans and like the alt-right have created this blanket that everyone's a groomer and everyone's a pedophile and everyone's a pervert and everyone's a sicko because they've got a rainbow sticker on their fucking front of their store. Like that's literally all of that it
right.
is.
But
or
it's like the rainbow to me is like just inclusivity. Like
so yeah,
whatever.
Sorry, I'm gonna climb off of my soapbox now. But that when that was posted, I was like, yeah, I have some shit to say about that because that's when I was going through the whole thing with this particular venue that wanted to prop us up that they were so progressive, and then when push came to shove, they were like, oh, actually, we're gonna cancel this because there's no tickets sold. Well, there's no tickets sold because you haven't even posted it once on your website or your social media.
Right.
So how are people supposed to know that it's fucking happening other than me posting about it? And guess what? It's June. I have 40 fucking other events going on. Right. So it's not my responsibility to highlight yours and make sure people show up.
Right.
I'm done now. I'll go back to being funny
wait,
now.
wasn't the remember like our comments on that one someone that I grew up with was like,
oh my God,
was
Go
like
on.
basically saying like, because I went off on that clip. Like I was just like, get a fucking life. Like what, worry about something else. And the one lady was like, no, they're grooming our children. And I'm like, wait, what?
They're grooming our children in a beer commercial on TikTok. Like literally.
She's like, you don't know what you're talking about, so you shouldn't talk. It's like one person received a beer can with their face on it, and you're mad. So how old are you, bro? What do you mean you don't know what the fuck you're talking about?
We're grooming children, but it's like every day there's news stories about community leaders, priests, police officers, firefighters, youth leaders, like all being caught with child pornography on their phones or their computers or having molested. Still not a drag queen. Still not a trans person.
And I like how
still not a lesbian.
Go.
Still not a bi person.
It says, it's not that it's a trans woman. It's that it's a man who dresses and acts like a 6-year-old little girl who hangs out in a red room. You still good? I said, I'm good. Thank you. I was like, the way in which it was presented to me was that it was just trans hate. Like
it is. And it is by misgendering her as a man. That's whatever.
Right.
That's a troll that you don't.
Well, and that's like my other thing is like when people are like try to go, especially with the trans stuff, I'm like, what the fuck do you care? Like literally, if someone identifies of X, Y, or Z,
other important things, we're not. If we're protecting the children, then why haven't we passed gun legislation years ago that's going to protect guns from going into schools?
Right.
Instead, we're actually in certain states wanting teachers to take guns into the schools,
right?
Because that's going to protect. It's like, oh yes, let's bring more firearms into a place where they can wind up.
But did you see those two dudes kissing and they want to go in the bathroom over there? But this is a big deal.
But like someone who made a 30-second TikTok for a couple grand to like promote Bud Light is that's the problem. That's the problem.
And how you brought up like the spinelessness of you want to promote these people, but then as soon as they just a little bit of backlash, you say, I didn't even say that. I don't remember saying that.
Well, didn't they send that PR package to like multiple people?
Yeah, a lot of people, but one person blew up because I'm sure, just like the algorithm, one person for everything blows up, and then it just happened to be a trans person, so everyone got mad. I don't want to say everyone got mad.
A lot of people did. It ruffled feathers.
Well, and
Trump
everything
got
is
mad.
it's about protecting the children. I personally, I don't do any events.
I remember you saying that.
With children. And I got some blowback from other queens in Philly when I made the joke, like, I don't want to be around your fucking children either. Because some of them do drag queen story hours, and that's great. That's fine. I think if that's what you want to do. But, like, that is one tiny subset. Everything I do is 21 up and up.
Right.
Like, I'm not doing that. Like, there is 0.0 desire for me to, like,
and everyone has their own, like, that's the whole point. You have your own ability to choose what works for you and where you want to go.
It has to have adult consent. So their guardians are consenting to them being there.
it's funny because I've been like seeing this guy and I'll like think of things to like, because I'm like, I don't know what I want in this situation right now. And I'm trying to figure it out. But the other day I was like on TikTok and I saw there's this one TikTok girl that I like love. And she just has like a really cool relationship in the sense of like she was married. They had 3 kids. They got divorced. He got remarried. She's like a single, like exploring herself. Like she has a boyfriend right now, but she's definitely like dabbled with girls and she's been like open about that in a sense. And like also, so they have 3 daughters and the ex-husband and his new wife are like good friends with her and like whoever she's, seeing. And she did this little like TikTok about how she brought her kids to Pride with the dad and with the ex and his new wife and her new boyfriend and like a couple of their friends. And she's like, I made my kids like really work to get to Pride this year. Like they had to like clean the car and do all these extra chores at home. And I was like, that's so interesting. Cause I'm like, I would need to be with someone who like would allow that space too. You know what I mean? So like, I thought it was cool that like the ex was in on it. And then like the kids like wanted to go because it is like, if you strip everything back down to what it is, it's just like love should be love, like the period, the end of it.
So is your current relationship open to that situation?
What? When I said, would
go
you
to Pride and all those things?
Yeah. He's like, well, sometimes it gets like crazy. He's like, I've heard of like things that happen at Pride. I'm like, no, not Pride after hours. Like, I wouldn't bring them to Woody's. Like, when it's like everyone is wasted and going crazy.
No, don't go there.
You know what I mean, though? But like, and like, yeah, like I know that sometimes things can get rowdy, but like a Pride parade, that should be fine, in my opinion. So he said, yeah, that I could take them, my hypothetical children.
And you're way out of his league, so he should do whatever you say.
Oh my God, wow. Justin.
What about you? You're still with your girlfriend?
Still with her.
Still with her. That's good.
Over 3 years now. So
does she look at your Google search history?
No,
obviously
she still thinks I'm gay, so it's okay. So do most people.
She just thinks you're at the gym right now. She has no idea.
I was at the bathhouse earlier.
The bathhouse. Ain't no
Funny,
way.
I thought I smelled meth when I walked in here.
Have you been to a bathhouse?
No, but I live near the like there's the gay bathhouse in the neighborhood. It's called Club Philly. And back when I was single and on the gay dating apps, like the symbol for like party and play, or which is basically just people doing meth, is a capital T in like their profile or whatever, or like
that just means they do meth and have gay sex.
Funny, all of the like symbols and acronyms.
So I would like wake up because I lived close enough to it. So I lived close enough that I would show up on people's grids, like, and they thought because I was so close that I was there. So they'd be like, "Are you here? Are you at Club Philly or whatever?" But like the T in at would be like capitalized, which is like code that they're like,
they do
meth. Crackhead, I don't want to go do meth with you at 4:00 in the morning on a Thursday. No, I do not. I am in bed. I am. That's good.
Probably the best time.
I have
to do
a
meth.
Job. Yeah.
The best time to do meth is 4:00 on a Thursday.
Yeah, no, I have no personal experience. So.
Oh my God.
Who am I to judge? No, I don't have any experience with that. So I'm just gonna drink my little grapefruit.
Mind my business.
I'm on high blood pressure medication, so I'm really dancing with the devil, drinking grapefruit. But that's fine.
What do you think about
see how it goes?
All the different pronouns that are out now? Do you think there are some ridiculous?
No. I mean, I think that everyone should be allowed to identify how they want to identify. I don't think that anyone has more of a right than anyone else to identify. I think sometimes there's a snap to want to be offended or call out someone if they're purposely misgendering you. That's one thing. If you're accidentally using the wrong pronoun or accidentally misgendering someone because it's not obvious to you at first, or they're not wearing something that says like my pronouns are this, then okay, like we don't need to immediately cancel that person. They didn't know. They're trying to do their best. Like use it as a moment to educate. I may have talked about this before. I don't remember, but like I used to do a show at a venue that closed during COVID, but I would start the show by saying, all right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage so-and-so. And someone wrote a negative Yelp review about that venue, calling it transphobic because I was using the term ladies and gentlemen. And this was a non-binary person in the audience who didn't identify as a lady or a gentleman.
You're just being an asshole, bro.
So I was like,
I mean,
clearly
people do pick.
That was someone not knowing any better. That's a term that's been around in entertainment since the beginning of time that simply could have been dealt with by saying, hey, just to let you know, there are people here that don't identify as either of those. Maybe use a different way to introduce to the crowd. And I would have said, you know what, you're right. So
hello,
now,
humans.
Going forward, now I just say the name of the venue where I am. It doesn't matter where I am. And it's like,
right,
all right,
right,
Taboo, are you ready for a show? All right,
smart.
Punchline, let's
Right.
put our hands together and welcome so-and-so. Like, I don't even address it anymore. So I think a lot of that comes from like frustration that those people have dealt with that for so long that it's easy to take it out on someone who they actually have access to versus like the trolls online or the people
right.
in the streets that are like yelling shit at them. And I understand that. But I think that as far as pronouns go, like, again, that's just something to distract from like, what do you mean there are they, them? Like, that's how they identify. You identify the same way that you woke up today and said, I'm a man, I'm going to go out. Like, then that's what they identify as. Who are you to tell them that they're wrong to do that?
Do you identify as
You don't have the authority to tell someone else how they identify. Whether you agree with it, that's fine. I don't agree with you needing to put Trump's name on every single fucking article of clothing or
and the flag,
or like cover your pickup truck in 75 fucking stickers. Or like,
but it's not your pickup truck,
like,
so who
I don't want to
cares?
see any gay flags on here, but you've got 14 fucking MAGA flags hanging off the back of your flatbed. Like, tell me you have a tiny penis without telling me you have a tiny penis. Like, it's the same fucking thing. I don't want to see that either, but you don't see me, like, burning that shit to the ground because I don't like it. I don't have the authority to tell you not to.
Well, and it's like you have a budget. Your energy has a budget every day, or like you have a attention budget. So it's like, why would I pay out of my allotted amount of money? I'm going to just use money, but really I'm talking about my attention or like what I'm giving my thought to for that. Mm-hmm. Like, pick something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's really simple.
Yeah.
What do you think of Dave Chapelle? You think he's funny?
That's never been my specific type of comedy that I enjoy. Even like I was never a fan of the Chapelle Show. But I mean, that's just been like, I'm gay. I've always loved like the female. Like I've always like, give me Wanda Sykes any day over Dave Chapelle. Give me fucking like, Michelle Wolf. If you want somebody who's going to like push buttons, let's push Eliza Schlesinger, somebody like that. Dave Chapelle just now is coming across as an out of touch old man who's like clinging to antiquated things because he like wants to prove that he's not going to be woke. Okay, don't be woke, but eventually the old people that you're still appealing to are going to fucking die. So you have to adapt or become a fossil. And at some point, people like that, people like him, people like Roseanne that like are actively like, I'm against this, then okay, be against it. Eventually your base is going to disappear, and then who is going to buy tickets to your shit? Who's going to buy your stuff? Because money talks. And watch, once he stops having those people, he'll have to adapt, or he'll have to find something else to do, or he'll go sit on his mansion of millions and count them. I don't fucking Scrooge McDuck swim through them. I don't fucking know.
I always think about that because, like, you know how I'm so annoying about
everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'm on your side.
Everyone always is.
So, like, well, because I've gotten in this argument recently too, because about comedy and stuff, and it's like
just getting liquor out of my purse.
you might really need some for this.
Robbie, can I get a?
We have sea isles in the fridge, I think. My argument is like about comedy, like when someone is trying to flirt with me, basically, like they're just being an asshole. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's funny.
It works.
It doesn't work on me. It really pisses me off, and I'll leave. Mm-hmm. I don't care. And so recently, like, this guy's argument has been like that's just how comedy is. Like, it's just funny. Like, you don't think that like the gay jokes are funny, or like Jewish jokes are funny, or black jokes are funny. No, I really don't. And I don't, back to the whole energy budget thing, I don't pay attention. Right. I don't even barely know that it exists because that's not what I seek. Like, and I think that there's other ways to be funny. And then I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, that like derogatory, like sarcastic, like vibe of comedy is just lazy to me. I feel like it's like the low hanging fruit. Like, you don't have to be funny.
That right there. So I was told, I used to host a show in Philly that was called See You in Hell. It was an intentionally offensive comedy show. And this was like 8 or 9 years ago, and times were different and things changed obviously during COVID and everything. But like, people would get offended, and I was like, that was the point of it. And someone once told me, and it has stuck with me for years, comedy should punch up at people that are higher than you in terms of status, in terms of wealth, in terms of power, in terms of ability. Comedy should never punch down at people that are more disadvantaged than you. So if you're making fun of disabilities, if you're making fun of poor people, if you're making fun of people that are like being discriminated against, all you're doing is like further punching them while they're down. It's not funny. It's just
like, it's a sad reach.
It's continuing to put them in a bad situation. There are plenty of people that are above us that you can punch at and try to pull down because it doesn't affect them. But like, affecting people that are below you, that's where you cross the line, in my opinion, to not being funny. And I had to learn that the hard way, because I did offend people, and there are things that I would have done in the past, comedy-wise, in the name of comedy, that I will never do again because I learned that lesson.
Well, and that's what I said too. I was like, also, there's like energy to things. Like, sometimes you said the disability thing, like that was brought up. Like, sometimes it is funny. Like, if someone has one arm, like da-da-da-da-da. Okay, well, what is the joke? And like, what is the energy behind the joke? Because that could be funny. Like, if they're cool with their situation, and whatever the joke may be, there's like frequencies to things, and you know when something is like actually funny, and it's cool because it just is what it is. But like, you know, you have like the ick feeling when you're like putting someone down. So I think that there's a difference.
One of my favorite movies ever, which is, I'm sure no one in this room has ever heard of it, but it's this movie called Drop Dead Gorgeous. It's a fake documentary that's got Kirstie Alley, Denise Richards, Kirsten Dunst, Allison Janney. It's about a beauty pageant in Minnesota, and it's like a fake documentary. Well, they used the R word a lot. This is from like 1997 or 1998. And there's like they're actually played by Asian people, but there's a very stereotypical like Asian stereotype family in that like speaks with the Asian like R. Everything has like an R pronunciation, like the singers in Christmas Story. And I showed it to my boyfriend the first time. I was like, I'm gonna let you know, this movie is still one of my favorites. It has not aged well. It has not aged well. We need to set aside this, and this. This movie does not need that. That's not what it's about. It's still a funny movie, but like, this movie would not get made nowadays.
Today,
just because, it's not.
So what's the difference? This is going to come off super insensitive, and it's just curiosity.
I have a razor in my purse. I'll cut you if it
and
is.
I'm only asking because I know you're cool. What's the difference between a drag queen and a trans person? Because they're both changing.
No,
they're both flowing with different genders.
So a drag queen, in my opinion, is someone who is dressing up in a costume for a reason. Whether that reason be, for me, that costume is to go to work. For me, putting on drag is like no different than if I worked at TGI Fridays and I got to put on the stupid shirt with the fucking suspenders
to
filled with a bunch
or
of
host.
Right. That's me putting on drag. Some people put on drag to have sex, or if like that's what they're into, or to get their rocks off. A trans person is someone, gender is different than sexuality, and gender is different than costuming. A trans person is someone who deep down feels like the way I look right now, or at least the way that I was born, the parts that I have are not how I feel inside. like, I can't speak for trans people because I'm not one, but from what I've been told by friends that I have, it's like they woke up and they never felt like they were right in their same body. They never, like, when
Which
they went
is,
through
like, so
puberty and
tough.
things happened to their body, they were like, this is not how I feel. This is not, like, how I'm happy. And nowadays, like, there are ways to even prevent puberty from happening so that, like, younger trans kids don't have to go through that. But it's the way their identity is versus how they present themselves, I guess, is the easiest way to say it. Drag, I feel like, and there are trans people that do drag and they separate. I'm friends with lots of trans girls that their name as a trans woman is not their same name as their stage persona. One of my good friends who just moved from Florida, she's a gorgeous trans woman. She used to live in Philly. She moved to Florida to work. She since has moved out of Florida to Chicago because of DeSantis and all this fucking bullshit that's going on down there. It's not safe for her anymore. But, like, on stage, she's Melanie, and she's gorgeous, and she's out to here, and she's done up and everything. And then in real life, she's Aubrey. Everything's still out to here, but, like, she puts her hair up in a bun. She puts on a sweatshirt, and she goes to Target because, like, that's
she's not performing.
She's a woman
anymore.
She's right. She's not a showgirl anymore.
She's just the girl before the show.
And for trans men, it's that they don't identify again with the parts that they were born with. So they go through, it's no different than, like, you don't like your ears, so you pierce them. You get tattoos. I mean, you make your body look the way that you want your body to look.
Yeah, it's self-expression.
Well, and for trans people, it's safety. It's like, if you have to look at yourself in the mirror and you don't like who you look, you have two options. You harm yourself or you do something to make it better. And unfortunately, a lot of people that don't have the means to make the first one happen, they do the second one. And that's what all of this, like, this is going to be, this is not I feel like I was a lot more fun the first podcast, but that's all this legislation is, like, if you're preventing trans people from, like, just basic health care, all you're doing is, like, telling them, okay, we want you to die, because the options are do things to make yourself safe, or, like, a lot of them turn to suicide. And that's essentially what people want, is for them to not exist anymore.
That's crazy. So do you identify...
Stateside vodka.
Do you identify as just, like, when you're in and out of character, do you identify differently? I know you identify differently by name, but do you identify as a man and then a woman?
I mean, I when I'm in drag, I use, like, she pronouns, she, her pronouns. But I also, I mean, I'm a cis straight guy. I'm a cis gay guy.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
July, all of a sudden.
We're all straight here.
We're all straight. We're all straight. Everyone here is straight.
All of us are straight.
Never sucked a dick before.
Let's unpack that. But for me, in drag, I'm Bev. That's a female character, so I prefer female pronouns. But out of drag, honestly, it's not that big a deal for me. I'll go by whatever.
So going with the sucking the dick thing, we had a guest on here who sucked a dick once. Does that make them gay?
Guest.
No, this is Jay Simpson. He sucked one dick once and then got his
No,
dick.
it doesn't make him gay. He didn't.
You're not an expert, Mar.
I am, because I decided.
Okay, well, let's see what Bev thinks.
Nowadays it's not so cut and dry. I mean, I think it probably puts him on the spectrum of sexuality because he's open to that.
Well, he was also like 9 years old.
No, I don't think 9. He was.
That's what I'm saying.
He was very young.
Justin's such a fucking. He's an asshole. He's not telling you all the tea.
9? Was the other person that age?
Yes.
They were both young.
They were experimenting.
That's a whole other
The first person I ever made out with was a girl, but I never told anyone that until I was like 18.
Little kids, I feel like, are a lot more open to whatever happening because they haven't been
They're
told
curious
by I mean, it's like this whole group again. I'm like climbing back up on my soapbox. This whole grooming thing is
need this?
right.
Here,
I do.
here you go.
I do. I need fucking Judge Judy over here. at the risk of deactivating the ammonium thiglycolate. And clearly your curls are still intact, Chutney. That's Legally Blonde. You're welcome. What was I saying? I think that little kids until
they're curious. You don't know.
We're
the
grooming
difference.
children. Guess what? I was fucking groomed to be straight. I was in love with the Little Mermaid when I was a kid, and she kissed Eric at the end, and she was 16 years old. And then, like, ever since I was a kid, oh, do you have a girlfriend yet? Do you have a girlfriend yet?
Right.
Who's your girlfriend? Blah, 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 blah. I have a fucking cousin who's like 4 and at the family 4th of July. Oh, do you have a girlfriend yet?
Right.
Like, that's the same shit.
No, it is.
It's the
literally
same fucking thing. Where it's like parents taking their 8-year-old kid to Hooters, but it's oh God forbid a drag queen read fucking Green Eggs and Ham to them. That's gonna
Right.
turn them into an axe murderer, child molester.
It goes back to intention. That one, he's not gay.
It goes back to hypocrisy. What one works for one narrative.
I'm asking the gay guy if something's
Well,
gay.
you know, every
I
other
am the
episode.
king of gays, Maura.
Every other episode, I'm gay too. So how fucking cheap.
I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. What were you saying?
Speaking of gay, am I still a bear? I lost some weight since you last saw me.
I would say you're
said,
maybe.
"Did you?"
No. I was waiting for someone to comment that I have as well, but that's fine.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Go us.
I'm living that Ozempic life.
Are you?
Uh-huh.
What's
I love
Ozempic?
that for you.
What's Ozempic?
Where'd you get it?
The housewives diet, I call it. It's an
a diabetes
injection.
medicine.
Oh, is that where they go? Oh, on the commercial?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, that's the dumbest commercial in the world.
I get it from where I get my Botox and my lips done. Because I'm what?
Fabulous.
An elderly, wealthy woman.
So am I still the bear?
I would say you know what? We can downgrade you to a cub.
What did Aunt Mary Pat give me? What did?
I don't know. An otter? Someone gave you an otter.
Never mind.
You fucking queens.
I
Have you guys ever worked together?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm. I would tell a story, but I know she'll watch this, so I'm not going to give the satisfaction. We just we have a fundamental agreement to go down our own lanes.
To coexist?
And I wish her success. She clearly has had success in what she's doing, and I hope she wishes me success as well.
I love both of them, by the way. So, Aunt Mary Pat, Troy, if you're listening.
You don't have to like all your coworkers. They can just be your coworkers.
There's other podcasts I don't like.
Yeah.
In this podcast, I get along with.
At one point we were
know.
friends, but I think that competition and competitive nature got in the way of that. So it's fine.
So, what's your kink?
What's my kink?
Yeah.
I can't tell you this because then you're gonna think that I'm like hitting on you, but it has nothing to do with you.
No. Go ahead.
But
Come on.
I like a bigger guy. All of my like long-term partners have been like big, like, and not just like stockier guys.
Did you see me
but,
in the
like,
bathroom
super
before the
tall.
show?
What?
Bitch.
Did you see me in the bathroom before the show?
I told you that when I saw you in the audience when we did that Come Alive 215 thing last summer.
When
I was
you
like,
helped me?
oh, who's the bear?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, fucking straight. Okay.
This is
It
bullshit.
was a gay event. I don't know why.
I hang out with everyone, by the way.
Oh,
My girlfriend was
I'm sure
there.
you do in the bathhouse with capital T at 4:00 on a Thursday.
Listen, meth is really good for gay sex.
That's how you've lost weight.
Yeah, all the
Right.
meth.
Rocking the pipe.
And the gay sex.
Exactly. But I mean, that's not a kink. But that's like I could be considered because it's like, especially in the gay community, God forbid, liking somebody with a little bit of a weight to them is like tantamount to fucking treason. But other than I'm pretty like vanilla in the actual bedroom. But
Are
in
you?
terms of likes for someone who's like skinny and blonde hair, I like a little meat on their bones.
So, if you were to guess our kinks, what would they be?
Oh, geez. Well,
You've been on 2 times.
well, you've mentioned poop about 84 times since I've been here, so I'm
Big
assuming
Shiza
you're
guy.
a big scat queen. And
Queen.
and you, I feel like I don't even have, how much time do we have left? Fucking laundry list over here. I'm just kidding.
Oh, stop.
I don't know. I feel like maybe you could probably like to get tied up or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. You look like someone who's like, yeah, just choke me a little bit.
Something
Just a little
light.
bit, you know. We have.
I was waiting to see Maura.
We get injectables. You have to like pain a little bit to go back and continue to do injectables. Otherwise,
I'll
you're
sit
like
there for 8 hours.
People who are like, oh, I can bee sting. I can't do a needle. Put on your fucking big girl pants.
I just got stung by a bee the other day.
Did you?
War wounds, everyone, just in case you were wondering.
You survived.
I survived.
It's like the end of My Girl and a lot of fucking bees.
So, what's your most controversial take on sex?
My most controversial take on sex? I personally am absolutely fine with a blowjob. And then I don't need to fuck every time like we're intimate. Like, and I've had this conversation with previous partners on my current partner. And like, I don't need all the bells and whistles. Like, we're both going to get off the same way. And for me, like, it's a lot less to preparation. And like, I enjoy both, not equally, but like it's just as acceptable for me. So like, no, if we're fooling around, I don't need to fuck every single time. Like,
This is a hot take that I'm dealing with currently too.
I'm cool with a handski. Like,
That's crazy.
like again, I'm gonna make a reference I'm sure you're gonna get, and you're just gonna be like, huh? But there's that scene in the first Sex and the City movie where like Miranda and Steve are fucking, and he like wants to keep it going, and she's like, just get it over with.
Right. Like,
sometimes it's like, you know what? I gotta wake up.
Like, don't tell me you're about to come.
Hours. I do.
Because I'm going to turn it up a notch.
Bring the train into the station. Like, I identified with that. They treated that like that was so like, oh my God, she didn't want it to last forever. No.
I know. I feel that. Yeah, sometimes. That's what I'm saying. Don't say that.
I worked tonight and I have to work in the morning. Let's take this fucking train to the station.
Yep. I feel that.
So what's your
and yours?
I mean, I'm cool with a handski, like I said. Like, I'm cool with just going, like, as long as I nut, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, if it's like coming, if it's late and I got a boner, it's like, let's just finish this. So I'm cool with that. I'm not I don't need a big production like you were saying.
I don't need all the bells and whistles.
I don't need you to douche your butthole.
Like every so often, sure.
Oh my God.
But not every time. I don't need that. I'm good.
Well, you also like know, like, you know, when you are like having sex with someone, like, and you can like, you learn the patterns, like, you know, the cheat codes. Like it's like, let me just bend over here, hit it from the back. But it's true.
Know the cheat codes.
Yep. Put it in. You do the thing. I know exactly how to get where we need to go.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Is your current relationship monogamous or?
We are currently monogamous. We've talked about like, and I mean, my previous relationship towards the end was not monogamous, so I'm not opposed to that. But I think in the beginning, like we haven't been together, even dating, a year yet. So I guess I'm old fashioned in that, like, if you're like open right off the bat, then what's the point of the relationship in the first place? Like, just fuck and then continue to fuck other people.
Maura, you want to say anything on that?
Shut up, Justin.
Maura, you got anything?
Oh, are these all like subtle reads against you?
Like, I don't know.
Why don't you like write the?
I just show up and be like this.
Why don't you write the questions?
Maura, is your relationship still the same, open?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how long have you been together?
We're like not.
Oh, you're not. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So,
but it's been like a couple months. It's been like 3 or 4 months.
Some people, like, I mean, I have friends definitely that are like, they're together, but they're both still on Grindr because I'm like, okay, to each their own.
Right.
are you guys still on dating apps?
He doesn't do dating apps.
I noticed you said hey.
I have dating apps.
And no fucks are given?
What do you mean? It's not like I'm like on them, but I have them.
And he doesn't care?
He's seen my Hinge.
This is I don't get the whole open relationship thing. I can't understand it. I understand that
it does. You don't have to.
I understand. Like I get. I don't have to understand it, but I don't get it.
Perfect.
When my relationship was open, quote unquote, it was because my ex and he was traveling for months at a time for work, and I was like, I'm not going to see you for 4 months. Like, if you want if you're in Korea and something happens with some guy that I'm never gonna fucking see, like
Right.
don't
let me see it.
Don't bring
but-
home an STD or a child I have to kill myself for, and I don't care what happens.
So you guys were together.
That's a Miss Saigon reference. You're welcome.
You guys were together a long time,
You're
right?
We were together for 9 years, yeah.
So
and he got very upset that I talked about him on the podcast last time that I was here.
You're like,
He's
welcome back, babe.
Guess people have some revisionist history. I was like, okay, well, you go on your fucking podcast and talk about your fucking and how terrible I was, asshole.
So if you came home, I guess, let's say 7 years into the relationship or 8 years into it, 9 years into it, whatever it was, and he came in with an STD, would that be a breakup right there?
No, it would if we'd had a conversation before that like we were allowed to sleep with other people. STIs happen. It's not like that's something like if it was a situation where I didn't know, like if it was a cheating situation and it wasn't something that we talked about beforehand, then yeah, that would be a problem. But if like it was a situation where
you guys set the boundary and set the expectation and then whatever.
Yeah, then it wouldn't be a problem.
I don't know, if I had an open relationship, my girl came in and she's like, I have HIV. I'm like, yeah, so that's about
Okay,
it.
well, that's like the most
HIV is a
aggressive
little-
one.
yeah,
like
that's-
we're talking about like herpes or like chlamydia.
I'm talking about gonorrhea.
Everyone has
bitch.
herpes, right?
I mean, I think herpes is honestly a lot more.
True. You just
From what I'm learning, I think that's a lot more common.
hepatitis is B.
your face.
I think that also like you have to have
HIV. There's no way to make that
that's
funny.
very
So let's
aggressive.
downgrade
very
to
aggressive.
like a herp or a hep or something.
Right.
It's fine. We don't need to jump to a. Anyways.
My rules right now is that we're not allowed to have sex with other people.
Okay.
But that's it. And I think that that's fair. Like, especially if you're having like very casual, like often, not casual per se, but like often sex with someone and you're not like using protection but you both have gotten tested prior and whatever. Like, I think that it's fine to be like, okay, I don't think that we should have sex with other people while we're having unprotected sex with each other. That's like
I agree.
Totally a legitimate thing. But it's also like attractive to me when people are like, oh, I got like before him and I had sex, it was like, here are my papers, basically. Like I got tested. Like this is what it is. Where are yours?
Yeah.
Because that's like responsible to me and it's like just clean. Like and before clean, just responsible. Like I'm just like, oh, that's hot. Like you care to go make sure all your P's and Q's are in order.
What about you?
I just said
When's the last time you got an STD check?
Are you? No, I'm not that. Are you in a closed relationship or are you?
Yeah, 100%.
He would freaking explode.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know your life.
He would explode.
If that conversation even came up, the last time I had that conversation was with the whore. The night we were basically the whole thing ended.
The whore. Wow.
Yeah, so that's what you call something that's a whore. Calls them like I sees them. But so have you ever done anything with a girl?
Me?
Yes, he told us that.
He said that he had a girlfriend and he never did any. He
I've
respected
not,
too much to sleep with Maura, so you don't know that.
No, I've not done anything beyond making out with a girl.
If you had to do something with a girl, is there a girl in mind?
I mean,
He told you, Ariel.
exactly.
But a real like
New or old? I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't know what I do. I mean, like
I would cuddle the fuck out of Chris Hemsworth.
Okay.
Like Chris Hemsworth, you know.
Okay, but cuddling is not having sex. I'll cuddle the fuck out of I don't know, insert.
Me.
Yeah, sure.
Nobody really wants to cuddle Maura.
I'm a cuddly girl.
I'll cuddle you.
Thank you.
and then you'll steal my lash glue.
Yes.
Maura, you got a moment? You drove here in a different car. You got a moment?
Oh, I got in a car accident.
Go.
I swerved the shit out of this car accident, but I still got in the car accident, but it could have been 50 times worse.
But set the scene. Draw us the picture.
Picture it. Sicily.
I was like at an intersection and
I'm appreciating the win, lose, or draw aspect of this that's going on.
I was going this way. I was going straight and I didn't realize that apparently this guy was coming from the side at the same time. I'm not sure if I ran a red light or if he ran a red light. Don't really know. Couldn't tell you.
Drunk?
No, that's the worst part.
Okay.
I just feel like I leave my body often.
Okay, so you ran a red light.
Potentially.
Uh-huh.
For purposes with insurance, I don't think that that's
Allegedly.
true. Allegedly.
This man.
And then I see him coming on my side. And so I like skirt and I went up, you know, like on the sidewalk where it dips so that you can like go, like you can put your stroller on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So I like go into that part and there's a fence corner right there. I don't know how the car didn't go into the fence corner, but it didn't because I'm blessed. And he just hit my back driver's side bumper thing and it like looked crazy. Like when I got out of the car, also didn't have my seatbelt on like a dickhead. And
how old are you again?
Right.
I'm asking.
29.
Oh my God.
Please pray for me.
Oh my God.
And then, so then next thing I know, I'm out of the car. He's out of the car. We're looking at the back. He's like, I'm so sorry. Da, 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 da. I was like, I don't even know what just happened. I was like, did you run the red light? Like, and he's like, I had a green light. But then I'm looking at the light and the light was green. And I'm like, I just don't know what's going on here. But I like pushed the back of the car back together, basically. The Maserati, I just pushed it back. And then I just took his information, he took mine, and we left. And his car was literally a speck. One little hole in his front bumper. And that was it.
And when was this?
This was Sunday.
Today is, what the fuck is
So
today?
luckily
Thursday.
for me, now I have to find a body shop. I was going to find a body shop out here, but I'm just like, it's too far. So I need a body shop in Philadelphia. If anybody wants to help me.
I know one in Springfield that's really good.
Okay.
So I don't know if you know, but your phone has something called Google where you can Google
I know.
Philadelphia body
I
shop.
know.
Now don't just type in body shop because then it'll.
I was going to say, that sounds like a fun place.
With Sam Smith. Because daddy don't know. Mommy's getting hot at the body shop doing something unholy.
The Philadelphia Body Shop sounds like a great gay bar name.
I'll let you go into that business.
Gay bars are an emerging
market.
market.
In with this podcast, so I think that you should funnel it all into that. Because you know what are doing well right now? Things for the gay community.
I'll start it, and then as soon as they say
You know what
it
was
shouldn't
so
be gay,
cheap?
I'll turn it into an Irish
You're
bar.
a liar, sir. You're a liar.
I went to Rita's last night and like obviously it's July now and they had this sign on the Rita's window and it said no more rainbow sprinkles. And I was like, how fucking cheap.
They're Jimmy's, by the way.
They
Well,
said,
the sign
they
said
said,
sprinkles.
fuck you, faggots. No sprinkles.
Yeah, I
for
said, you know what? Like literally June is over and now you guys just
You get
don't
red,
have
white, and
fucking
blue sprinkles or
rainbow
nothing.
jimmies. How fucking cheap.
We don't believe in that anymore.
If anyone out there for Rita's, do you only have rainbow sprinkles during Pride, or are they? Is this
Or
an
were they
annual
like
thing?
they might have been really hot and like
Or-
they ran through the rainbow jimmies during Pride Month? I don't know. Question marks though were risen. My car
Were you
needs to be
thinking
risen
of that
also.
while you were driving through the red light?
What's wrong with where the Jimmy's at?
Damn guys, I'm down bad.
Yeah, you
I just keep sleeping. It's really bad. I've slept like probably like 40
Well, that's
hours.
called depression.
I know. Thank you.
she gets in a relationship, suddenly she's depressed.
Dude,
Some people call it nap time. I call it depression.
I'm calling it depression too. I literally am like, I need to seek a doctor.
I need help
I know
with
my
mental health.
signs, and this is one of them. So yeah, cheers to that.
Mental health disorders.
Uplifting
Woo!
episode of this podcast.
Speaking of changing subjects, can you age out of drag? Is there a certain age?
Some people should. No, I don't think so. I mean, there was the quote unquote world's oldest drag queen. Oh my God, I've been blanking on her name now. She was from Canada. She just passed away this year. She was like 92, 93, something like that. Darcel maybe was her name. I'm a bad gay. I forget her name. But no, I mean, I don't think so. There's drag queens that there's a queen that used to live in Philly that now lives in Atlantic City, Sandy Beach, who's been doing drag for like 50 years, 60 years now, and she's still doing events in Atlantic City. It's just whether or not you are able, like, you're able to keep things going and adapt and keep
So you
things
keep
fresh.
being happy every night.
If you're doing the same shit you were doing 40 years ago, maybe it's time for you to hang
Yeah.
it up. If you're still like pushing yourself and doing new stuff, I don't think so.
And having fun.
I mean, there's probably people that think I'm too old to be doing it. And nowadays it's like, y'all, you're not probably Drag Race avid watchers, but like people will say to me all the time, why aren't you on Drag Race? You're so good. I'm like, well, because I'm 41. And right now, if you're not 19 with 5 billion TikTok followers, guess what? That's not what Drag Race is looking for right now.
Right.
There were fucking twins that were on last season of Drag Race that only got on because they each have like 15 million TikTok followers. Like that's what you need nowadays. So
gotta be
I do different stuff than that, but there's a pot for every lid and an ass for every seat. So if people continue to like it, then why not continue doing it?
What kind of DMs do you get as a drag queen?
I mean, I don't really get a lot of crazy ones. I mean, I do get like a few here and there, but again, I'm not the type of drag queen that like is always like in like sexy outfits and doing like
you're just
Pussycat
like
Dolls
aggressive.
numbers.
You're just like,
with,
hey,
like,
I'm me.
like
You're here or you're not.
I get the chaser DMs sometimes, but a lot of them are just like, oh my God, this was so much fun. Blah, 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 blah. Are you available for bookings? I was like, yes, absolutely. I am available for, if you've got a paycheck, I've got a talent. And 9 times out of 10, they don't pan out. But those are the kind of DMs I get.
No paycheck.
They're not sexy ones. They're like, hi, we loved you. Are you available for my cousin's sister's nephew's wedding in 3 years? I'm like, yeah, sure. Here's my Instagram.
Do you do weddings?
Oh, bitch, I do anything. Yeah.
Well, have you done a lot of weddings?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So you're
I'm
like
actually,
the MC?
Yeah, I've done receptions. I've done actual weddings. I've done bachelorette gigs.
Have you ever ordained a marriage?
I'm not ordained, so I'm not. I've never.
Well, you easily could in 5
Well, I know
seconds.
it's like fucking $15 online.
It's literally free.
Right. But
But that would be a good one, like Bev at the altar.
no, I've done baby showers. I've done wedding showers.
Baby shower.
That's the story I told last time where I got kicked out of an Olive Garden. That was a wedding shower.
Have you had another bad experience in drag since you've been here?
No, not really. That one definitely takes the cake. I've the whole thing with the venue canceling all their shit right before Pride Month is like my latest like bee in my bonnet that's like gotten me pissed off. But no, not really. Mother's Day weekend was a little crazy. I don't know what the fucking moms were drinking on Mother's Day weekend, but
they were angry with you?
No, they were fucking out of their goddamn minds crazy. The brunches that we did a Saturday and Sunday brunch. Big Wig brunch at the Punchline every Saturday in Philly. And we did, and like moms were rowdy as fuck. And it's like, you paid to come to a show. Sit the fuck down and watch it. This is not a bat mitzvah. Like, you don't need to get up and dance to everything. Sit the fuck down. Doing like a fucking conga line at one point. I'm like, I'm sorry. Are we at prom? What is this? Like, none of us need backup dancers. Sit the fuck down.
What's the worst thing somebody in the crowd can do, and what's the best thing somebody in the crowd can do?
The worst thing someone in a crowd can do is make it about them, whether they try to dance with you or they. This is going to be a 3-hour podcast. There's a list. Number one is like grab me or touch me without my consent. Literally, this happened years ago, but like I literally had a woman one time at a brunch walk up to me, I was wearing a leotard, and grab my crotch while I was performing, just like grab my like bulge in front and was like, where does it go? And I was like, security, like you don't, I'm actually a person. You don't get to walk up to a stranger no matter where they are. Just grab their genitals and ask where their dick is. Like that's probably number one. But like
that's crazy.
That has happened before. I hate like they like wanting me to like dance with them, or like they try to like touch your hair or like do something to you to mess with you. And then like my other huge pet peeve is like pretend this is a dollar bill. They're like waving it out. I'm gonna take away and be cute. Now I'm gonna put it back. Now I'm gonna get like bitch, I don't have time. If it's a 50 or above, I will play your fucking game. If it's $1, guess what? I don't need your fucking dollar that much. I literally just walk by and then they're like, oh no, here. It's like it's not about you. Sit down, watch the show. We all have shit planned that we're doing. So just if you want a tip, that's appreciated. It's not required. But like, it's not, the show is not you giving me your fucking single dollar bill.
Right.
I appreciate you doing so. Thank you. Sit the fuck down. Watch the rest of the show.
What's the best thing somebody in the crowd can do?
Tip with $100 bill.
Give me $100 bill while they're sitting nicely. I'll say, thank you so much. And then keep going.
What's the biggest tip you've ever been given?
I mean, we did a Golden Girls brunch, and I always play Blanche. So Blanche, like, I just fuck with the men in the crowd. And there was a table where it was like 3 older couples, and the men each tipped me $100 during
I
one
love
visit.
that.
So I made like $300 just from like that table for my one Blanche number.
What do you expect like a tip to be? Like a respectable tip. So
I don't honestly, it does not matter. Like $1 is great. A 5 is my joke. Now I say this is like, if you're enjoying yourself, $1, a 5, dare I say a 10. If you are not fucking with me and you want me to leave you alone, a 20 or above, I will leave you alone.
Smart.
A 50, you're dead to me for the rest of the fucking day. Pay me to leave you alone.
Right.
I've always said, speaking of bathhouses, I want to do a show at Club Philly where I just kick in the fucking door and I do Celine Dion. It's all coming back to me now on a repeat until you give me $100 and then I'll leave you the fuck alone. Pay me to leave.
Do you guys work similar to like waitressing where you guys are working mostly off of tips?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like there are certainly queens that will do gigs like open call shows or like amateur shows. It's usually like younger performers or newer performers that will work just for tips. But me personally, and like people who, my peers that we've been working for a long time, we will get a show pay, but it's not like a ton. It's probably like $150, $200, which is great.
Okay, but
like,
makeup is not cheap.
Exactly. Each of my wigs,
I've been thinking
$400
about
to
that.
$500. Costumes, tights. I wear steel bone corset, makeup, perfume, hairspray. I'm wearing easily $1,200, $1,300 per number. Yeah, so like walking around and like collecting tips. All of my numbers, I've built in time for me to walk around and collect tips.
Did not know that. So
Run them their checks. Thank you.
Yes.
So when we met on that one, was there like a flat fee or did you work specifically on tips that day?
No, she gave me a negotiated fee.
Okay.
With the expectation that I was going to do numbers and be able to walk around and collect tips.
Were you mad that I wasn't gay when you came to the podcast?
Oh my fucking God.
No, I love you anyway.
Even though I'm not gay?
Yes.
You want him to say he wishes
The more
you were gay.
No, the more you talk, the happier I am that you're not. The
You sound
more
like
I'm glad I'm not associated with you.
Sounds like everyone I've ever talked to.
Right.
So speaking of few words, if you could use one word to describe the first time you were on stage and one word to describe the last time you were on stage, what would those be?
Well, my first time was definitely like terrified because I came from a theater background where like everything was rehearsed and like I knew what I was doing. And like when you like do things and you're on your own, that's terrifying. But you channel that into hopefully doing a good job. And last time was my show Saturday Night, which is my show, Bev's Bitch Fest, the first Saturday of every month at Taboo Nightclub. And that's like my baby that I've curated. We're having our 10-year anniversary in September. So I would just say grateful because it was still a packed crowd. It's a holiday weekend. You never know what it's going to be. A lot of people that I knew and was friends with were away.
Dude, Saturday I was working and it was poo-poo.
And I was like, I'm worried it's going to be dead, but we still had a great crowd. And it was people have to come up and said like how great a show it was. So I'm just grateful that I'm still working as much as I am. I'm actually, I don't know if I said this yet, but I don't know when this comes out, but at the end of July, I'm actually leaving my day job and doing drag, like focusing on doing drag full time, which is like a big leap for me. So I'm grateful that people continue to come out because it's about to be my only source of income.
That's awesome.
Remember to tip, please.
Yeah.
Apparently no money made.
Yes, my Venmo is It's Bev Bitch, like Brittany, but elderly. ITSBEV.
Go ahead. Loving them what if you want to give us money. Maura?
I already get money in my Venmo magically, so keep that coming.
What a rough life she lives, you know? She just shows up places and gets paid money.
Well, she's got to pay for car renovation.
I'm going to start putting our Venmo at the... Actually, I can't get
You
money off of Venmo
should.
because I don't know my password for Venmo. I have like $200
Well,
on
you
there.
can put mine, and they can put love and then what, and then I'll send it to you.
Put it on Cash App.
I'll give it to you.
You can do it on Cash App. I can get money all day on there, but...
No, I literally went on another show a couple weeks ago, and I was like, whatever, just talking my shit, and I've been out of work for a couple weeks too, and like I was like, so my rent is behind, da 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 da, and this man sent me $500, and he said your bit on yada yada was fire. Let me know when you have a show in New York or New Jersey, and I was like, he thinks I'm a comedian, and then I have shows.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
know, it was so exciting. So that
Did
can
you send
happen.
them pictures of your tits afterwards?
No,
Oh, well, that's good.
crazy,
Did
right?
you tell
I did
them to
have-
come here and watch you every week?
Yeah, I tell everybody this is part of my lineup. I got Fairy Garden and I got Love and Then What. That's where you can find me. And my Instagram.
People can come in here and watch this. We could have a live studio audience.
We could do a live show.
like,
That
watch
would be
what
fun.
happens live.
I still
Dude,
haven't
we should
decided
do
on-
that, and we should have Bev host it in drag, so
I'll
she can
send you
get
my
tips.
Bev, would you dress me in drag for the show? If we were to do a live show and I went to
That
dress
would
you?
If
take
you
so
paid me
long.
enough, absolutely.
No, what? How long does it take to get in drag?
For me,
For him, he knows his recipe.
Oh,
for
is
me,
there a
it's
whole
about
thing?
An hour and a half, start to finish.
What about if you were to dress me in drag?
You have a
I'd
whole
give
beard.
Well, yeah.
I'm not losing the beard. Just
Well,
so we're
then-
You don't have to. There's bearded drag. I'd give myself like a solid 2.5, 3 hours, just because it's a learning curve.
Yeah, I would 100% come out in drag if I were to do a live show. 100%. I've thought about this a million times. I'm like, it's the only way to do it. It's the only way.
And now I know why I'm back.
So you're back. What I'm proposing to you is, I've learned how to tuck last time you were here. I've been practicing.
Ain't no way.
I thought I smelled Gorilla Glue when I came in here.
Elmer's.
Speaking of you being my inspiration for drag, do you have your own inspiration for drag?
I do, but you're not going to know any of the names. Your people aren't going to know any of the names.
Your
Old
peop-
school queens at like pre-Drag Race days, that if you know like old school comedy drag, it means something. But yeah,
My girl has these. There's 2 drag queens that have a podcast. Don't know who they are. I can't remember the name, but she loves them. And she asked me to bring them.
probably it's either Trixie and Katya.
That's it.
Yeah,
Do you like them?
I do.
Okay.
I've worked with both of them before. They're like huge names now. Before they were just like one of 5 million RuPaul's Drag Race girls, but like they've been able to like parlay that into like even bigger things. Which is
I think they're hilarious. I've seen their clips, and
they both are like, they come from the same background that I come from, which is like improv comedy, where it's like yes and no matter what the person says, you're like, it's not like no, I'm not doing that,
like
because
Maura,
that
no.
immediately kills.
No, I hate the word no.
that
just said
immediately kills the thing. But like if someone says something crazy, and you're like, yeah, and I'm gonna add to that.
Razzle
That's
dazzle
where-
it.
Yeah, that's where comedy comes from.
so when you were growing up, what was somebody you looked up to for inspiration? Because as a gay guy growing up, I'm guessing, and when did you grow? When were you like formative years?
I was born in 1982.
So-
I'm 41. So I loved, and our house wasn't a Golden Girls house. Our house was a Designing Women house. So I don't know if you know that TV show from the 80s and 90s. It's like, it's 4 female characters. Jean Smart, who's on Hacks right now. Delta Burke, an actress who died, named Dixie Carter, and then another actress, Annie Potts, Janine from Ghostbusters.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. They,
Straight things.
trying to appeal to the straights. But they were like just like 4 women from the South that like talked in like bitchy monologues and this kind of thing, and like that, and then like The Little Mermaid. I loved Ursula. I loved Ariel. Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I would definitely like put a towel on my head and lip sync to Jessica Rabbit's song.
She
in
is
the
everything.
thing, like when I was a little kid. Yeah.
So no male like inspirations growing up.
I mean, yes and no.
Like who,
but,
Mrs. Doubtfire? Like what do you mean?
I
No,
was
I just
never
am
into
curious.
like
I asked
never
AMP
into,
the same
like,
thing.
boy toys. Like I always wanted to play with like My Little Ponies or my cousin's Barbies and that kind
I
of
was gonna get you a My Little Pony. That was on my
I
fucking
always wore my
to-do
Little
list.
Pony shirt. Oh, shut up.
But yeah, like I can't. I'm sure like I was. I mean, I played soccer. I played I only played baseball for 1 year, but like I was a Boy Scout. Like I did like boy stuff, but like if I was gonna like go home and watch TV or watch a movie, or I remember that time, I was in my bedroom listening to like the Little Mermaid soundtrack and like Beauty and the Beast and that kind of stuff on tape on repeat, and like mouthing the words in the mirror and stuff, like, or like painting or drawing pictures of characters like that. That's just, I was artistic.
My
That's
mentor,
what it was called back then. You were artistic.
He was like he's like, we knew I was gay since I was literally 6. Like he's like, my mom knew. Like we all knew.
Yeah.
Your mentor?
My mentor in LA who did hair.
I was gonna say, are you talking about me? Because I'm obviously your mentor, correct?
Anyways, my mentor in LA, he's like a celebrity hairstylist, but he's gay, and he's like, yeah, we get
it, you know, gay people
since I was young. He's like, I used to do the Barbie's hair and things like that. I feel like it's just, like there's he's not little now, but my friend, he grew up, he's my sister's age. He's a couple years younger than me.
Get the blowjob book.
Yeah. But
like, not to like take it back to what we were talking about earlier, but like I was never groomed,
right? Exactly.
To be this way. Like
you are who you are.
Was drawn to Ursula the Sea Witch because she was fucking fabulous and she had the best song in that movie.
Right.
I wasn't like, yeah, Prince Eric's hot. It was like, I want to be the bitchy evil witch who sings the good song and throws all the potions into the thing. Like that's what I want.
Like hello, yeah.
Like that's just inherently like what I was drawn to, and that you can't. It's not like I was like my parents were like, all right, you only get to watch this scene from The Little Mermaid over and over again.
Yeah, you just know, and you just let people be who they are.
That's just what my personality was. That's what I was drawn to.
If you had to say one thing to people who are on the other side of the Bud Light controversy who don't drink Bud Light anymore, what would you say? There's a camera in front of your face. Tell them.
Get a life. Stop fucking your cousin. There's something, you can have a personality beyond making America great again, and and if the worst thing that happens to you in your day is that you had to watch a trans woman on TikTok sell a shitty watered down beer, then look at how amazingly privileged your fucking life is, because people are actually like, in the words of one of the Kardashians, people are dying, Kim. Like, if the worst thing that happens in your fucking day is that you had to watch Dylan Mulvaney on TikTok, go out and like give money to charity. Bye. Stop fucking your cousin.
Bye.
That's my favorite. That's my thing I say to like my nephews, my nieces. If this is the worst part,
your cousins?
Every time, like, stop fucking your cousins. No, I always say. It's pretty funny, Maura. That was funny.
Thank you. I'm a comedian.
So she's trying, guys.
They're there.
Send tips to her.
They're there.
So no, I always say if this is the worst part of your day, you got a pretty fucking good life.
Like back during it just came up on my time hop, which is making me thinking of it. But like back when like all the George Floyd protests and everything were happening 3 years ago, and then whatever maker of Aunt Jemima waffles, and like they announced that they were discontinuing Aunt Jemima and they were going to name it something else, and like everyone lost their mind. I was like, if the worst thing that happens to you in your day today is that your fucking pancake syrup is called something else now, like, congratulations, you have a great life. Like, that's the worst thing that happened in your day today. People are actually like out there being murdered right now. So calm the fuck down and
or like living on Kensington and Allegheny.
Go eat your waffles, Cletus. You'll be fine.
Those damn M&Ms changing their
the
green M&M.
Yeah, like, girl, bye.
Maura, you have no idea what the M&M thing is, right?
Yes, I do. I loved her.
Wait.
I had like a crush on her. And her white boots. Yes, I did.
So surprised that Maura knows anything about what's going on. Speaking about things going on, Maura, promotion aspect time. Camera in front of your face.
Just promoting Loving Them, what I&R Studios, Fairy Garden Mindset, It's Bev Bitch, and being happy and sleeping.
Please sleep.
I want to thank you for dressing up for the occasion today.
I love this outfit. I wore it last night to dinner, and then I was like, you know what? I'm wearing this to my podcast
Dinner? Where
today.
was dinner?
This is Fairy Garden also, by the way. So, but we went to Murph's last night. Have you ever been there?
No, I don't know what that is.
It was actually, I didn't know either, but it's fire ass Italian, and it was like super cheap. I was like, what's going on here? I had lobster ravioli with shrimp.
Ooh.
That's
You
what I'm
ate?
saying.
Did you eat all of it?
No.
No. Did he get you 2 dinners?
He gave me his leftover. He's like going away for a week or so or something. I don't know. He's like, what do you do when I'm not here? Like,
Marissa,
I
feed you?
masturbate constantly.
I'm like, I
go in the
don't
tanning
eat
bed, I jerk
and
off.
I work out, and that's about it.
Bev, is there anything you'd like to promote?
Sure. So, as I said, at the end of July, I'm actually leaving my day job as an office manager and doing drag full time. So, hopefully, when this comes out, my website will be available, this is the dumbest website name ever, and I love it. It's www.itsbevswebsite.com. And
I love that.
That will have all of my information for bookings. I am focusing on trying to do more weddings and corporate events and that kind of thing. So all the information to book me for that. It also has all of my social media. All of my social media is at itsbevbitch, ITSBEV bitch. That's my Instagram, my TikTok, my Venmo, my Twitter. I don't have Cash App, but yeah, it's all on there.
I only have Cash App. I have the other ones, but I forgot my password, and I'm too lazy to change it because I got to change it on all the things. So just send me Cash App. Loving that one. So thank you, Maura, for coming out. Check out Fairy Garden Mindset. She has clothes. She has brands.
We didn't have any quizzes or anything. Okay, that's fine.
Well, sometimes I do plead the fifth the second
You're
time.
guilty.
Sometimes when I do plead the fifth the second time, it's like people are like, yeah. So anyway, thank you, Maura, again for coming out. Fairy Garden Mindset. Check out R&R Studios for music, podcasts, creative spaces. If you want to come here, talk it back, and hang out with me and Bev.
And viewers like you.
I want to thank Bev again for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Check out this Bev bitch.
I'm sorry if I was Debbie Downer this time compared to
Oh,
the
you
last
were
time.
good. You're informative.
Thank you.
We learned something today.
You told me that not everybody gets asked back for a second one, so I appreciate you.
It's
bringing me back a second time.
It's rare that I have people back a second time unless there's something new to talk about.
Always remember your second time. That's
The first one's always a mistake. The second one's always on purpose. So, yes. Robbie, you can hit the button. Thank you, Robbie.
Bye. All right.